That's half of the other crew. Yeah. But a bunch of us went. 8 of us went. No, 11 of us. But, and you know, being late, they tried it. Tried it. Go to the home. I said,
Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. It is wonderful to see everybody come out, and I'm just so pleased. We just didn't have an idea of what this night would be other than blessed.
Amen.
I want to personally welcome you to Cafe de Curtis. We're in for a night of words and wisdom and fun. Don't get all nervous and tight. We're just here laid back just to have a good old time, okay? There's no big eyes and no little U's. It's just us, okay? So y'all ready? Y'all ready? Yeah. Let's get this party started.
Nobody can say no. When Jesus says nobody
Rainbow Man. Yes, indeed. Give it up. Come on, come on. All right, next up, we're going to have the word from the Lord.
Give me a moment to reboot the machine because it's actually urgent. Because there's actually audio.
And that's good. I only got 2 seconds.
Had no ball, had no bats, had no screens, as a matter of fact. Had no pools, no playing at school, raced up and down the street instead of on a track. But old Mary Mack had silver buttons up and down her back. What was long, tall Sally doing in that alley? Probably Zudio, all night long.
All right.
I don't want to go to Mexico no more. What can you do, Punchinella? What can you do, Punchinella? In a shoe from the zoo? We can do it too.
Yeah.
No string or cord man-made can soothe us. No pipe formed by human hands bring comfort sweet. For we would soar, visit worlds unseen, longing for our soul's freedom. We know you must sing. You must sing. Give our dreams flight as we cast our souls into that magical light. Take us to the utmost heights, plunge our hearts to depths unknown, hypnotize us, mesmerize us, paralyze us with ancient strains. We want to feel the blood of the universe hot in our veins. Let us fly with you, cry with you, die with you. For we are born anew when you sing. huffing and puffing, grinding and moaning. But quietly, in a government office, papers sliding between us. There have been queens named Elizabeth long ago, pale, pasty queens. We did not name her for them. Jesus had an aunt named Elizabeth. Her husband was struck speechless because he would not listen, did not believe. He could not say a word until Elizabeth delivered. May she be so blessed. But we did not name her for that Elizabeth. My husband had an aunt, and Liz moved back to Tennessee after working many years for some rich family in New York. She gave us a silver candlestick and our first dining room table. And Liz died one day mowing her yard. At her funeral, some limp-wrist, cane-toting white man cried like a baby. But Aunt Liz had no children. Now she does. We named her Elizabeth. Mama always said you had funny eyes, gray, green eyes, depending on the light. To me, they seemed always muddy with bourbon and gin, but always kind, always gentle. When we buried you, they gave us this American flag, folded tightly in a triangle, zipped in plastic. Framed in my mind was the last time I saw you, the real you, throwing me a smile as you dashed for the 6:30 bus. Crumpled Playboy hat and a paper sack with grease spots. I was seriously into my aerobics as you went to your hot tar rooftop Atlanta in July exercise. People who never met you say I look like Mama, but I laugh until I cry. Watch cartoons on Saturday. Read the newspaper every day. Holler and wave at people I really don't remember. Just like you. I knew it was you. That melody wafting on a gentle breeze, hanging deftly in the air, complex and haunting. I knew it was you. I knew it was you, and I smiled, allowed the sun's rays to caress my face again, allowed that melody to enfold me, and deeply inhaled that familiar scent, sweet and faint. It was you, riding on a soft wind from nowhere, sending yourself to me with no regard for time, no regard for space, moving in the ether, visiting my soul. treasure untold. Courage tested, love tried, true beauty to behold. Inside the trembling hand, wisdom is firmly grasped. The answer to our future, the measure of our past. Atop slow-moving feet, these ancient ones, these precious ones, move with grace, while the unlearned frantically seek courage, love, and beauty in this place, where swift feet do not traverse, hearing ears cannot grasp, sharp eyes fail to behold, that beneath the silver strands lie treasure untold.
That's nice.
Sister Alice Bates to the stage. Give her a welcome.
Good evening.
If I'm not loud enough, just say so. You're not loud enough. Okay, so the first poem I'm going to do, these poems by Mona, I can't remember saying that. I'll tell y'all. But anyway, the first one,
Just one.
testing one. Well, we're supposed to have fun tonight anyway. That's it. The first poem is titled The Challenge of Perplexity. And this poem describes me when I was in college and there in fall to today. And the reason it describes me is because my friends call me Wonderland. And so my name is Alice, but they decided to attach Wonderland to it. And this poem explains why. Sometimes I like to sit perplexed and wonder what may be coming next. It seems it gives importance to my being when I am not clearly seeing. I often have the need to ponder and to let my mind roam and wander, looking for concrete words to say why things are this way. I find it difficult to draw conclusions because reality mixes with my illusions. And when my thinking becomes blurred, that is when my greatest solutions have occurred. It is at that moment, when I have examined all that is at stake, that I have figured out which path to take. I'm glad when my prediction has come true, and it turns out that I knew. But when life decides to take a different turn, then I view it as a lesson learned. And once again, sometimes I like to sit perplexed and wonder what may be coming next. And you brothers, don't y'all get jealous. But this poem is directed to my sisters. Okay. I have one for you all too. Now some of the sisters in here have heard this poem before, but this is one of my favorite poems. You know, I love it. A room full of sisters. A room full of sisters, like jewels in a crown. Vanilla, cinnamon, and dark chocolate brown. Now picture yourself in the midst of this glory as I describe the sisters who are part of this story. They were wearing purples, royal blues, and all shades of reds. Some had elegant hats on their heads. With sparkling eyes and shining lips, they moved through the room, swaying their hips. Speaking with smiles on their African faces, their joy and laughter filled all the spaces. They were fashionable and stylish in what they were wearing. Kind sisters who were loving and caring. You see, it's not about how these sisters appeared. Their beauty was in the value they revered. They were smart, articulate, and well-read, with all kinds of Black history stored in their heads. Jugglers of professions, managers of lives, mothers of children, lovers and wives. Good-hearted, reaching out to others, giving back to the community, and supporting our brothers. All these sisters struggled the path, suffered from prejudice, endured the wrath. But they braced off their clothes and pushed on the door, and they came back stronger than they were before. Now imagine, if you will, the essence and thrill as you stand feeling proud in the heart of this crowd. A sisterhood, a modern sojourners today, still out in front, blazing the way. A room full of sisters, like jewels in a crown. Vanilla, cinnamon, and chocolate, dark chocolate brown. Thank you, Alice. Next up, Geraldine. Geraldine, if you come on up, baby. All right. We got a night full of surprises.
Yeah.
Test one, can you hear me? Yes.
See, for all these old folks, they have to do a lot of it. I'm going to read a poem to you tonight entitled A Great Family Legacy. And the legacy is of my great-grandfather and wife. I wrote this poem in 2000, and I didn't write it for you all. I wrote it for my family. I was trying to tell in this poem, my family, their history from. I'm the 5th generation from when we come back, from my great-grandfather to myself. I'm the 5th generation. And we were hosting the 43rd family reunion on the land, on Emmanuel Carter and Elmira Carter's land. And many of the family members had never been there, especially the young ones. They had not been there, so Geraldine Watson being married to me, so she's going right to tell the story. This is my great-grandfather and wife. And the reason it's so special to me, all 5 of those generations was members of the Church of Christ. Yes. And I attended the same church that my great-grandfather and his wife attended. And not only did I attend the same church, I lived on the land. My mother, being the youngest of 12 children, and father, when I was 4 years old, bought 175 acres of my great-grandfather's land. And I grew up on the land, so my grandmother and grandfather was right across the fence from me. And in, I forgot the year, but the family reunion was in Texas. My sister and brothers and I, it was 12 of us, by the way, too. You see what the family will be. There's 11 of us living. We decided to buy the rest of the land that my grandparents, my mother and her siblings had. We bought that land and we built a building in 1 year because we wanted to bring the family reunion to that land. And I wanted to tell the history that I had learned by living, growing up on the land. It is entitled, A Great Family Legacy. A Great Family Legacy. In the early 1800s, a great man was born. He grew up in slavery, a life that was torn. His name, Emmanuel, meaning God with us, rang out loud and clear. For he had parents somewhere that loved him so dear. Emmanuel, a young man from slavery was freed, God-fearing and strong from a determined breed. At an early age, confessed his hope in Christ because he was concerned where he would spend eternal life. Being a young man, he began to date, looking for a woman that would make a suitable mate. He found a young woman to whom he wed and was blessed with 3 children to be reared and fed. Time passed. Months and years went by. One day, strong Emmanuel bowed his head to cry. His wife, young body, was lowered into the earth, leaving him and the 3 children she gave birth. Alone and bewildered, Emmanuel needed a guide. So God, his heavenly Father, was there at his side. With God's power, family and friends support too, Emmanuel and his children managed to get through. God blessed Emmanuel as he toiled day after day, laboring as a sharecropper, but not forgetting to pray. He prayed for a God-fearing woman to complete his life, and God gave him Elmira Setzer, his wife. Their union began after they jumped the broom, and God showered blessings on them very soon. 3 sons and 6 daughters, a total of 9. Their children were born in record time. One day, Emmanuel and his wife took a stand. In Senatobia, Mississippi, they purchased some land. Feeling proud, they cleared the new ground and planted seeds and harvested many fields to provide for their needs. Raising cotton, corn, potatoes, peanuts, and other truck patches too. These skilled farmers worked the whole day through. They sang and prayed as they toiled each day. The children cherished the time they could stop and play. Although Emmanuel and Elmira did not get formal education, they valued learning for their future generations. So they donated land to build Ellis Chapel School. To their family and others, it served as a valuable tool. 6 days from dawn to dusk, Emmanuel family accomplished much. Chopping wood, tending the animals, working in fields and such. But on Wednesday night and Sunday morning, off to church they went to worship the only begotten Son of God sent. Day after day and night before Emmanuel family retired, they talked about lessons cherished and admired. They sang hymns, prayed, and blew out the light, full confident that God would watch over them all night. Years went by, and their children grew up and married. Emmanuel and Elmira grew older and tarried, loving the time they spent with their grands, watching them running barefoot on the sand. The grands came fast and soon multiplied. By now, Emmanuel and Elmira were growing old and tired. Emmanuel labored faithfully until the day he died. Then between 2 trees was buried on the hillside. Elmira gathered her children around and said, "Papa is gone, but we must remember the life he led. Our Heavenly Father saw fit to call him away. We've got to be strong, trust God, and pray." The children stood by Elmira, and were very strong, remembering the lesson, knowing right from wrong. United, they supported and showered Elmira with love, thanking God daily for their blessings from above. Time passed. Elmira longed to be with her mate. Busied herself cooking, canning, cleaning from early till late. Then one day, she crossed over at eventide. Her body was placed by Emmanuel on the hillside. Though absent from us, the Carter Union left a legacy so grand. It has influenced the character of the Carter clan. Their spirit-filled life still permeate this old Mississippi land. Listen with your heart and hear a resounding band. Entering a new millennium, feeling proud and taking a stand. Still witnessing God's blessing numbered in the sand. A great family, descendant of a devout man, was fashioned by an architect using the master plan. And I got a little choked up reading that because it is a history of my family. And I put it in verses like this for the benefit of the children that I was home.
Amen.
Give it up for Geraldine. I am Black History.
Yes.
How appropriate.
Yes.
I am Black History.
Yes.
I am so elated. I was not supposed to be up here. I've been venting to so many people, whoever would listen to me. I'm just tired. I rode from Montgomery and broke down on the side of the road. I'm here. Woo! But the MC for the night has finally arrived. She has finally arrived. I hadn't seen her in so long. This is my Aunt Fannie Mae. Would everybody welcome her with a rousing applause? You need help? She done aged. So glad to see you. Clap You need something, okay.
Hey y'all, how y'all doing? Good evening, everybody. Thank you, baby. Good evening, church. Well, y'all don't know, my name is Sister Fannie Mae Jackson, Willis Phillips, Golden Dennis, Manhunter, Moss, Houston, Denver. I'm just giving out a few church announcements. Sunday, the youth sister ministry will be having their 100 Women in Weave March this Sunday at 4 p.m. Members are asked to bring a friend. The more weave, the better. The members of the church are asked to keep Brother Allen in your prayers after singing Troubles Don't Last Always. He was arrested for shoplifting. Now he's serving the rest of his previous year sentence. I guess his trouble's gonna last for 5 more years. Anyway, Sister Hattie will be selling mud cakes and mud pies after service today. You know, She got everyone sick last time. She want to apologize last month. She said that she had no idea that real mud cakes was not supposed to be used in the making of cakes and pies. The health ministry will be giving away Pepto-Bismol to all members who purchase cakes and pies. Thank you guys for that. We got some more later. But next coming up, we got Brother Jeremy Washington? Is he here, Brother Jeremy Washington? You here in the audience? No? Okay. You here? Okay. We got a sister, Berlinda Murray. Is that all right, baby?
Good afternoon, everyone. All right, so I'm gonna do a poem, and it's entitled "Being the Mother of a Black Child." Okay. Being the mother of a black child, it ain't no easy thing. You got to call on Jesus and listen to the angels sing. They said you were what? Honey, that word is out of style. But next time they call you that name, you better raise your head and smile. Tell them that you are proud of the color of your skin. What counts is not the outside wrapping, but the character within. Being the mother of a black child, it ain't no easy thing. But you got to call on Jesus and listen to the angels sing. Sometimes I lay in the bed way late at night. Honey, I be preaching and teaching, hoping they will get it right. And I ask God, am I doing things right? Have I given them direction? Do they know which way to really go? Have I overdone it just a little bit? But do they really know they can't do just half the job and barely pass the test? They got to go beyond their call and do their very best. But Lord knows I've been to the schoolhouse 1,000 times or more. I think every time the teacher looked up, there I am standing in the door. But someone got to help folks understand how smart our black children really are. And expect them not to fail, but to reach for the stars. So being a mother of a black child, it ain't no easy thing. You got to call on Jesus and listen to the angels sing. I used to put the children down between my legs to brush a kinky head. I be preaching and teaching, hoping they will listen to what I said. Because I told them. There would be those who would tug and pull and grin and flaunt their evil ways, tempting them to sin. Because of being black, some would give them little chance to win this game of life, and oftentimes would be so hard and hours filled with strife. They were going to have to get down on their knees to pray, and I told them, although we may not be listening, God hears everything they say. And yes, being the mother of a black child, it ain't no easy thing.
No, it ain't.
You got to call on Jesus and listen to the angels sing. For those of you who have raised them up or are in the process now, you surely deserve to stand and take yourselves about. But don't think that your job is over and that your task is through. Because now you got to reach down and help a mother, maybe struggling just like you.
Amen.
You must let her know that little black girl or boy will do so many things to fill their heart of joy. Help her realize the good they bring will far surprise the tears, and that they soon wonderful years. And yes, being the mother of a black child, it ain't no easy thing. But you got to call on Jesus and listen to the angels sing.
How y'all doing tonight? Y'all all right, yeah. Y'all hot in here? I'm a little hot. Okay, also, some more announcements. Due to the recent slew of bounce checks, we're gonna have a list of everybody's name in the program on Sunday. Because of the increase of men joining the church, the pastor, he wanted to be clear on the announcement. I think some people misunderstood. The men's ministry will be sponsored by a sweatshirt contest and not a wet shirt contest. The reason is to choose the logo for the new sweatshirts. And also, those men who just joined the church, we want you to know that your $200 deposit is non-refundable. It's going towards the pastor's the church fund. All right. Next, we're gonna have a Miss Sister Clara Bratton. Is that right?
How y'all doing?
All right.
I don't need a microphone, I got it. You know, Geraldine, when I heard your poem, your family history, it inspired me. At one point, I thought about just reading a poem per se. Eyes Are Climbing by Langston Hughes, but then I changed my mind. I said, you know what, I'm gonna do it a little differently. But I'm still gonna read my poem. But anyway, here it goes. Let me put on my readers right quick. We all said we having fun, right?
Yes.
Okay. Well, son, let me start all over, introduce myself. My name is Clara Redmond. I am also Elizabeth, Clara Elizabeth Redmond. I'm the third daughter of the late Joe and Janie Fields. I am also a grandmother of 6 grandkids. I am the mother of 3 adult children. And I have been married to the same gentleman, the same young man, for the last 15 years. And it has truly been a blessing. Let me read this poem after introducing myself. Well, son, I'll tell you, life for me ain't been no crystal stair. It's had tacks in it, and splinters, and boards torn up, and places with no carpet on the floor. Bare. But all the time, I's been a climbing on, and reaching landings, and turning corners, and sometimes going in the dark, where there ain't been no light. So boy, don't you turn back. Don't you sit down on them steps, 'cause you finds it's harder. Don't you fall now, for I still go, honey. I'll still climbing, and life for me ain't been no crystal stair. I purposely chose that poem. I wanted to read it because life for me ain't been no crystal stair.
I grew up in 1953 in a time when it was extremely hard, during segregation. And I can remember one Sunday in Sunday school. I've been teaching Sunday school for Lord for many years. And I stated to the kids, I said, do you know what 1953 looked like? And most of them just fell out. I grew up in the dinosaur age, 1953. That's how they looked at it. Because they could not fathom 1953, right? So, and talking with them, and then when I shared with them my age, they got worse. They fell out even more. But then I tried to give them a little history of what it was like growing up in 1953. For me, growing up in 1953 was hard. It was during segregation. And I can recall during those times, I was 7 years old because of my birthday in February. In February, in first grade, we walked to school. And we had little brown paper sacks. We carried our lunch. And oftentimes it was a peanut butter and jelly sandwich and that bologna. And I mean, it was a thick piece of bologna and stacked with mayonnaise and mustard on that. But look here, we were able to leave the elementary school, walk home, and if you missed something at the house, you were able to get that because Mama was always there at the house, right? So, when we moved and graduated from the elementary school went from first grade all the way up to 8th grade. It weren't no middle school back then growing up. So, from there in 8th grade, we didn't ride a bus. The kids were, the funny thing about it, or the sad part about it, is that we're walking dirt, and Lord forbid, if it's a rainy day, you got a muddy road to walk on. White kids riding on the school bus, they throwing stuff at you, calling you all kind of different names and stuff, and it was just bad. It was hard. It was difficult. But we endured. And that, in our past, growing up through segregation, it didn't define who we were. We had challenges, but we were very determined. We didn't give up on our vision and our purpose that our families had for us, but we had to stay close in our community. We had to stay home, very close. And the thing about it is that, in growing up, my mom and dad always told us, 5 of us, that you are fierce. And fierce means that I am strong. Whatever I set my mind to do, I can accomplish that. But during those summer months under my mom and dad's regime, listen, let me tell y'all something. We didn't play. We couldn't. We had responsibilities at home. During our summers out of school, Daddy and Mama had us learning our timetables. We had to read books. My eldest sister and I, and I'm sure some of you remember the Double Day Book Club. Do y'all remember that? We got books and didn't pay for them back during that time. So any books that Imogene and I brought into the house or that came in the mailbox, Daddy and Mama made sure we read that book, and we had to turn in some kind of report to Mama and Daddy. And so we had to share with them exactly what we read. Mom and Daddy said, you're dignified. Meaning that we are self-respecting people because we were Fields, F-I-E-L-D-S. We represented Joe Fields. You understand what I mean? Yes. So if we went away from our front door where we grew up at, where we lived, guess what? And we misbehaved. Miss Brown is going to call, take you by the hand and take you to Janie and Joe, and she's going to say, Miss Fields, I gave Clara a whooping. And guess what she's going to say? She's going to leave me with my mom, and my mom is going to give me a whipping too, because I left the house very disrespectful. I'm a dignified person. And a dignified person should know how to behave themselves and to conduct yourself. And also, I wanted to share also, I wanted to dig back to my father. I do genealogy. I wanted to understand for myself who was Joe Fields. My father served in World War II. And during that time, him being in the Navy during World War II, he never talked about his years in the service. And it was hard. And so I wanted to share this with you guys, and you're telling me I got a minute, so I want to show you this. In my researching, these are the medals that my father received from 1942 to 46. These are his medals. When my father left the Navy, they gave him $209 and some change. This is his letter that Uncle Sam gave Joe Fields. Whether there was a GI Bill or not, Joe Fields did not know it. There was no money to help him build a house to take care of all 5 of his kids. And then look at here, I want to bring y'all on up here. Look at here, look at here. You remember we had the voting rights in 1965? Okay, and having the voting rights in 1965, you remember in 2015, 50 years later, there was a celebration at Morehouse College. Do y'all remember that? In 2015, it says a time to break silence. Here's a book, the document, all of this is right here in this here folder. And not only that, look, the kids can identify with it. Yes, we did. We got a black president. Did we have one? Yes. All right. And look at here. I believe in, I love treasures. I want my great-grandkids to know these are tickets at his inauguration. I will never, ever forget that. My dad didn't get to experience it, but I want to say, Daddy, I got tickets. All right, guys. Gerald, you know what? I wanted to find out when is the first time we had Black History? It was 2010. The first program, Building on a Dream. Thank you, Gerald.
He'll play. 2007. 2007.
How to finish? Go my little get up with y'all. See y'all up in your style. My grandbaby's right here. She got me these right here. Looking sharp. Thank you. Calling up the next one. Next, we're gonna have Shantae and Rain Bowman. Y'all up here? No? Yeah. All right.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Shantae Bowman, and this is Rain Bowman. And before we begin, I just really have to tell my daughter how proud I am of her. She wasn't feeling her best. She told me, Mommy, I can do it. And it was me not doubting her, but just like, are you sure? You know, motherly instincts. You know, Auntie Jazz, I'm not sure if she can do it. She's like, Mommy, I got it. I said, okay, well, you want to speak as well? She said, Mommy, I got it. I said, okay. So I just have to let her know that I'm very proud of her. And tonight, we are going to be sharing 2 different things. Rain will share a poem, Hey Black Child. Before she reads Hey Black Child, she's going to talk about generations, our generations. And it means so much to me because it's words that I've spoken to her from my mother, who got it from her mother, who got it from her mother.
See that? That's good.
What brings it so close to the both of us is my mom left 7 years ago. And to raise Rain without my mom is difficult. I just had a 3-month-old, Serene, baby Serene, and everybody always say, your mom is in you. I can see your mom in you. I can see your mom in you. And I hear it, but sometimes it gets so hard to raise my baby without my mom. So to sit at the table and to share words of wisdom with my child about women that came way before her means so much to me. So Rain is going to share a poem, and then I'll share an excerpt from Sojourner's Truth speech, Ain't I a Woman? She spoke this in 1851 in Akron, Ohio. It's only going to be a short snippet, but it's going to be very powerful just to bring the connection with the generations from my family to the powerful black women of black history.
I want to honor the roots that ground me, the powerful black women of my family. My great-great-great-great-grandmother, Mary. Yep, 4 greats whose courage laid our family's foundation. Then Nana, Mary's daughter, whose courage has been our guide. My great-great-grandmother, Elaine, whose strength inspired us to rise. Then my grandmother, Linda, whose love binds us together. My grandmother, Nisi, who's our woman of wisdom. These are not just names, they're chapters in our family's and my family's epic journey. I am a proud descendant of these queens, a living legacy of their struggles and dreams. So as I speak the words of Hey Black Child, hear the echoes of Mary, Nana, Elaine, and Nisi. Hey Black Child, do you know who you are, who you really are? Do you know you can be what you want to be if you try to be what you can be? Hey Black Child, do you know where you're going, where you're really going? Do you know you can learn what you want to learn if you try to learn what you can learn? Hey Black Child, do you know you are strong? I mean really strong. Do you know you can do what you want to do if you try to do what you can do? Hey Black Child, be who you can be. Learn what you must learn. Do what you can do. And tomorrow, your nation will be what you want it to be.
Okay, thank you all so much. And I'll share with you the excerpt from Ain't I a Woman. That man over there say women supposed to be lifting carriages, helped over ditches, and had the best place everywhere. I ain't never been helped over no carriage, or over no mud puddle, and I ain't never had the best place. And ain't I a woman? Look at me. Look at my arms. I plod and I planted and I gathered in the barns. No man can hit me. I can work as much man can. Eat as much man can when I can get it. I can battle lash as well. I born 13 children and seen them all sold off into slavery. And when I cry my mama's grief, none but Jesus hit me. And ain't I a woman? Thank you.
Yes, yes. That's good. Wow. Powerful.
Wasn't that amazing? I was born back then too. Okay, so next, okay, this is the group I taught in this song. We're gonna have Malik Woods, okay, Kevin Johnson, Janet, Danny. Come on man. I'm in the weather, so I couldn't sing with them, but I'm so happy y'all got me.
Laughing it up.
I'm sorry. My name is Malik Woods. Okay, that's Jasmine and Q. Y'all already know. We are the Elements of Harmony. That's the name we gave ourselves. Sorry. We're going to sing Potter's House. Just to give a little, musical insert in this time of spoken word.
They sound so good.
1, 2, 3.
In case you have fallen by the wayside of life, dreams and visions shattered, you are broken inside. You don't have to stay in the shape that you're in. The potter wants to put you back together again. Oh, the potter wants to put you back together again. In case your situation has turned upside down, and all that you've accomplished is now on the ground. You don't have to stay in the shape that you're in. The potter wants to put you back together again. Oh, the potter wants to put you back together again. You who are broken, stop by the potter's house. You who need mending, stop by the potter's house. Give him the fragments of your broken life, my friend. The potter wants to put you back together again. Oh, the potter wants to put you back together again. You who are broken, stop by the potter's house. You who need mending, stop by the potter's
to put you back together again. Oh, the potter wants to put you back together again.
Amen.
See, I was gonna say Wade Water, y'all did it. Y'all wanna hear Wade Water? Say something.
Yes.
Water, way in the water, children.
Yes.
Water, guys gonna trouble. Let's see. Speaking of singing, we also got the music and arts department. They are bringing back the popular play Grandma Whooped Me during Sunday school. So, tickets are going. They're going real fast on them. Let's see. We got some more food, I believe. After service, we'll be selling dinner for those who's going to be staying on, oh no, it's Sunday. Sunday for evening service. And on the menu, we have chicken, rice, string beans, and punch. The cost is $45 per person. To the pastor's look, the church fund. Okay. Next, we are going to pull up here Brother Bill. Woo, you got a last name on you, Brother Bill. Brother Bill, STULTZ. We got you coming up, and Dwayne Calhoun.
Good evening, everyone. Some hard acts to follow, and women went first. We men just gonna sing. But we decided to do a poem that's endear to our hearts. As you can see, he's a member of Alpha Phi Alpha. I'm a member of Omega Psi Phi. I've been a member of Omega Psi Phi since 1983. There's a poem that we're going to cite. It's called Invictus. And in Invictus, it talks about struggles and getting through it. My head is bloody but unbowed. This was written by Ernest Henley. Ernest Henley wrote this, just a little bit of history on him. He had lost one of his legs due to tuberculosis. And later he was about to lose his other leg, and he started to write this poem, Invictus. And you also may remember that this poem was also constantly recited by Nelson Mandela. And he also had given it to the South African rugby team. And so Invictus, to me, as I said in 1983, I was online for 3 months. Online means a pledging process. Also, you have to go to class. I had a job. I played football, and then so it was online. So you can imagine what we had to do. So with that being said, my brother is going to incite Invictus. I can incite it, but we'll let him.
Good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
You see this, the omega to the alpha, alpha to the omega. Out of the night that covers me, black as a pit from pole to pole, I thank whatever gods may be for my unconquerable soul. In the fell clutch of circumstance, I have not winced nor cried aloud. Under the bludgeonings of chance, my head is bloody but unbowed. Beyond this place of wrath and tears looms but the horrors of the shade, and yet the menace of the years finds me unafraid. It matters not how straight the gate, how charged with punishments the scroll. I am the master of my fate. I am the captain of my soul. Thank you.
Look at that dress with you. Them flowers.
Took a little mustard, you know, you took a little mustard, good for me. Took them brand new. Let's see, let's just go on to the net. All right, okay, we got Sister Alice Bates for the last time. Sister Bates. All right, sister.
Okay, I'm going to honor what, the church said. I thought there were gonna be some other folk up here, so it would be the last time. Okay. Y'all hear me? Yeah. Great. All righty, so this poem is to the brothers. And the name of the writer, the author for this poem, and the last poem is called Mona Lake Jones. So we got kinfolk in here. It was a Saturday morning, around about 10, when I was passing the barber shop, and I happened to look in. My heart skipped a beat when I saw the door, and I moved in closer so I could hear a little more. The shop had culture, just bursting at the seam. And when I tell you what I saw, you'll know what I mean. There were brothers of all ages, sitting, waiting in line. Each one of them I would describe as fine. Now, I don't mean fine because they were short, tall, in their own important name. Yeah, the education is right, 200 years. We want a central stash, a central bank with democratically elected trustees, and a board elected by us all to map out from the referendum we set up what we want to spend it on to build that national sense, self-determination, and self-reliance, and self-respect, and self-defense. The will of what the good Dr. Dubois be on true self-consciousness, simply the psychology of freedom. Then we can talk about being American. Then we can listen. Then we can listen without the undercurrent of desire to first set your own fire. We will only talk of voluntary unity, of autonomy as vectors of self-determination. If there is democracy in you, that is where it will be shown. This is the only way we as Americans. This is the only truth that can be told. Otherwise, there is no future between us but war. And we as brother lovers and singers and dancers and poets and drummers and actors and runners and elegant heartbeats of the sun's flame. But we are also to the end of our silence and sit down. We is at the end of being under your ignorant spell, your international hell. Either give us our lives or plan to forfeit your own. And Frederick Douglass says, those who profess to favor freedom and depreciate agitation are people who want crops without plowing the ground. They want rain without thunder and lightning. They want the ocean without the roar of its many waters. The struggle may be moral, or it may be a physical one, or it may be both. But it must be a struggle. Power concedes nothing without a demand. It never did, and it never will. Thank you.
Talk right here? Okay. Talk over here. She want me in the center. We're gonna have Sister Cheryl Izzard. Thank you so much. Sister Cheryl Izzard.
Okay.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening. I'm the Black Widow. No, I'm not. Just teasing. Just wanted to put some levity there. So my name is Cheryl Lynn Izzard. I am an author, a poet, playwright, and everything I recite has been personally written. This first piece is entitled Victory. I wear a shroud of years of heartaches and pain, hidden in the shadows of shame. From ancestral bondage, I came to a place where no one knows my name. Girl, come here. Don't you look me in the eyes. I look down, swallowing my God-given pride, holding back tears. I clutched them inside, never to let on to the fear flowing like a roaring tide. I merely mumble, yes, master, yes, sir. I reply. Now centuries past, I carry the DNA of my forefathers, stripped of their names. I am still wearing their shroud of shame. But today is a new day. Today I remove the shroud and take the reins. Today I will teach them to say my name. For I am a proud Black woman with no fear, birthed through pain. And this black woman has a name. So, as I rip off this shroud of sorrow and pain and find my voice uncloaked from the darkness and shame, I have no fear. I have come through the fire and now say my name. My name. They call me victorious. Victory is my name. And though I too bore my children in pain, they will not be fearful, for they bear my name. They will never be victimized by this society again, for they are glorious black babies who bear my name. They are glorious black babies who my DNA claims. They will also rise from the ashes like a phoenix without shame. Beautiful black babies who know their name. Their name is victorious, victory, and their heritage they now claim. A black woman. There is something about a black woman, a sister, as she walks through the room. Could it be how she carries herself? Or perhaps it's the fragrance of her perfume. Maybe it's her confidence. She doesn't have to announce herself or boast. For a black woman has learned she is unique, even different than most. Her hair is laid, whether twisted, locked, or smoothly shaved. Perhaps it's silk pressed, weaved, or the finest wig ever made. Let's not forget, it's okay to have short hair, long natural curls, and long hair too. Or she may just want to wear her braids straight down to the tutu. Regardless, there is something about a black woman. Many struggles just to get by. She struggles just to get by. But you would never know it, as she carries herself with dignity and pride. A real black woman, a sister, teaches, embraces, loves unconditionally. She is obedient to the faith as she guides and nurtures her family. My brothers, never take a black woman for granted. It's the worst thing to do. For a black woman, respect the black woman who carries the world on her shoulders. Acknowledge her. And 2 snaps, for her, she gets finer as she gets older too. But of course, what do you miss? She is a black woman. Yeah, right. At her best. Yeah, right.
Which one you want?
Let's do veils. Okay. This piece that I'm getting ready to do right now, my cousin, rest his soul, he just died on the 28th of December. He was a fabulous artist. He was an editor for 30-some years for the black paper in South Carolina. He went by the name of Blue Jim. His name was Jimmy Edwards. We were collaborating on some of his pieces that he actually painted, and I wrote poetry to go with it. So this is entitled Veils. No longer entangled in a web of veils, colors revealing my pains, my struggles, and yes, even the blues of my existence. The roads I have traveled have worn me down, yet I still dance. I dance with a free spirit, no longer constrained, no longer entangled by by the veils of time. Freedom is a wind I glide upon, with a gaiety in my spirit filled with strength, no longer entangled by the veils of life. I dance. As I Am, he entitled this piece, Anatomy of a Woman. I look to the hills, from whence comes my strength. As I am, I come leaving behind all fears and shame, a figure of weakness with no issue, with an issue of blood, never ending. But joy is on the horizon. As greener pastures I have found, just to gaze upon him, to feel his glory, gives me hope. If I could touch the hem of his garment, I would behold this frail anatomy of a woman, no longer filled with shame. For now, I see my salvation, and in him I will forever trust. For he alone is the potter of this woman of clay. And this day, this woman can look and touch and lie down in greener pastures, no longer with an issue of blood. I am the anatomy of a woman. People always ask me, where do I get things? And I always tell them, you know, this is my gift God has given me, and I'm blessed to be able to say that. And so, a lot of things come from just listening and seeing things and touching, and, you know, textures and whatever. But this is entitled Imagination, and I want to leave you guys with this. Some say the eyes are the window to the soul. I say it is imagination too. For with imagination, you never grow old. Imagination can take us into the future of realms never seen, and yes, even back to the past of palace and kings. It is the power to separate reality, to simply take a moment to transcend, to engulf beauty, seen through imaginative eyes that will never end. Think of it, even from the archives of Egyptian tombs and graves. Had it not been for imagination, these relics would have never been saved. Imagination. Imagine if we had not closed our eyes and dreamed of worlds, of pathways to the future, images yet unseen. To envision scenes of floating petals, or roses in bloom, or flowery fields, the beautiful array of what some call leaves, rows of daffodils. Imagine the invisible people to people with unskilled eyes, yet to the dreamer, imagination soars like the starry skies. Through valleys and hills and rivers and streams, it is imagination that takes us forward and surpasses all our wildest dreams. Imagination is good for the soul, especially when dreams and reality intertwine. To sit and imagine a better world, even for a moment, calms the mind. So, let me encourage you, as of this day, imagine like a child. Let your imagination take flight. Let it flourish. Let it run carefree and wild.
members of the church, y'all are asked to encourage, to pick up Brother Sterling's new CD. It features the hit song, Why We Bling Bling. And that's a remake of Kirk Franklin's Why We Sing. And today's announcements are sponsored by Bobby's Bible Bookstore and Barbershop, where his motto is, buy a book, improve your look. All right, okay. Next we have up Haji the Poet.
Yeah, baby.
I like the red one better. I think this is how you bring it down. Can you guys hear me good?
Yes.
Alright, cool beans. My name is Haji. Out of the many titles that I've had, I would say a child of God is at the top of the list. And then second to that is a poet and a dreamer. This poem is called Youth. Steadfast, I'm trying to get my stability back. Hope is a cracked foundation, but see, we the prophets that grew up on curved pavements, still on the run, still waiting on my dreams to catch up to me for once. Have faith in me. Through all my faults, the odds favored me, so when my ancestors say come, better believe we taking flight. Roots so deep, we shifting tectonic plates. I am my own hero. Maskless, how I face the world, who rower. No cape because my body be the shield. Skin so black, we suffocate in blue lights till we're bulletproof.
Come on. Come on.
Thank you so much. That's the first one. I got more. This poem is called I Know Why the Caged Bird Sings.
Yes.
If you know, you know. I can hear, I can hear. I know why the caged bird sings. I know why the chariot swings. I know why my mother prays over me every evening. Brown girl, where you are, the music follows. Every step is a note, every smile a symphony. I know my ancestors are proud of me. How does it feel? How does it feel to be this free? Where my blue's so bright, we blind the police. 99-cent Arizona sweet tea, the South's been so good to me.
Yes.
Taught me the power of hospitality, treat everyone like family. After all, are we not branches from the same tree?
Yes.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Okay, so I have a poem it's called Black Boys Smile. Black boys deserve to smile. Wide tooth grins, skin, melanin, deep belly laughs, no labels. Only the pressure of your lips on a lover's skin. Black boy, do you remember the last time your smile felt light? The nostalgia of boyhood gone, you're a man now, still a child at heart. Your youth lies in the way you sit, shoulders squared and head heavy from carrying the weight of being black and a man. You deserve to just be, to keep your peace, to feel your feels. Black boy, won't you smile? And that's the, thank you guys so much. I have one more, then I might be done, but I'm not sure. How much time do I have? That's not like, what's time anyway? All right, y'all. So this one is for my mom. If you don't know, I was born in a refugee camp in Kenya. I'm actually Somali, but my parents immigrated to Kenya to run from the civil war that was happening in Somalia at the time. So I wish I could show you guys, but I have a blog and I'll probably send some links out, but this is kind of for my mom. She's been through a lot, and I see so much of myself, you know, so much of her in me. Okay. This is called My Mother the Muse. Her name is Dejo Muse, so that's where the title is coming from. Mama worked late nights, had the bills paid on time, $8.25, maybe an extra dime, made sure we were clothed and fed right. She couldn't help with all of my assignments, but taught me the power of hidden knowledge, a poet and muse. Sometimes she sang and her voice felt as colorful as rainbow hues. Mama fled a war zone and birthed seeds in a territory unknown, lost loved ones, and found that sometimes trauma runs in your bones, your bloodline. Today, I'm lifting the curse, one fulfilled dream at a time. All right. Do I have any more? I think that's it. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate it.
This is this last special person right here, and all this church fund business, y'all gotta talk to him. And this is why this is his last name. So we have, last but not least, Dr. Torian, tell it like it is, Sally.
Good evening. This piece is entitled, The Greatest Decision I've Ever Made. Now, this is a story all about how my life got flipped, turned upside down. I'd like to take a minute, just sit there and rest. I'll tell you how I became the minister for the church called Hillcrest. I can boldly stand and boldly say that I'm proud to be a Christian. The life I lived and the life I led was headed downhill. See, listen, I ain't always looked this good. I recall having an ugly start, ugly grades, ugly attitude, probably had an ugly heart. I was running with the wrong crowd. Whatever they did, I did too. But then somebody said, thank God we don't look like what we've been through. I was baptized at 14 and preached a sermonette about a year later. I've been about Jesus ever since. If you don't like it, you're a hater. I always knew I was supposed to preach. I just didn't really want to own it. And when I ran from my assignment, life swallowed me up. Call it a Jonah moment. So now I'm more focused. I'm a go-getter, and I'm all about his word. Daily reading, daily praying. You can call me a Bible nerd. I'm a preacher, and my job is telling the world his story, man. And I don't really plan on stopping until I wake up in glory land. And so for anyone who's listening, give me a moment to persuade that following his word, his will, and his way was the greatest decision I've ever made.